So anyway, we're sitting here, and I've found some pencils with some blobs on, and there's some colourful things here. So I assume you use these for your Alexandra technique. I don't know if you want to show me what you do.
Yeah, my toys. These are my toys, really. Often I use these in lessons, and very often in the first lesson, to just give an essence of how we're put together. And this is a tensegrative model.
Sounds complicated.
Stroke baby's rattle.
That's much better.
I could have a scientific tensegrative model from the internet for about £250 that's grey and black and rather dull, and this is, I think, much more fun and colourful, and I like colour. But exactly the same principle. We have a bony structure, a skeletal structure, which is like the wooden bars here. We don't have slidey bits to my knowledge, but my students decide that they're the internal organs, that's fine. And we have elastic muscle connective tissue joining on the bones. And I explain that this is incredibly what I call simplicated, as a dear friend called it. We simplicate, because it's not anatomically correct, of course, but the concept is how we work. We have these elastic parts joining the hard parts, and if the elastic on this was made of wool, it would just collapse. Yeah?
Yep.
But because it's equal and opposite going on, it's maintained in this hexagonal shape. In us, we're maintained in human shape.
Yeah.
We respond to life and we tighten muscles, and then we release muscles. But as we said before, we don't always release them, so we tighten the muscles and we forget to release. And then we feel a bit out of shape, so we tighten another muscle. And then we do some exercises that's meant to help, and then we get some friction going on, so then we do something else. Can you see how we get twisted into a shape?
Or compensation.
Compensation. And Alexandra is about learning where we've tightened and able to release and let go and allow the body to come back to its natural shape. We at times have to intend or direct the body into a certain shape because it just doesn't do it on its own. It needs a little reminder. It's got a bit dusty. But this is the principle of it. And this is so wonderfully elastic. It's squishy, it's resilient. It's great fun for people to try, and they get a feeling, and it's as if even though their body's going, what am I doing playing with the baby's rattle, the body goes, yes, yes, please, I want this back. So that's one little toy. I normally introduce people to Bernie the Boulder, named by a student a very long time ago. He is the approximate dead weight of the human skull.
All right.
No, we're not.
Can I feel the weight of it?
You can indeed. So.
Oh my goodness, it's not light, is
Don't
it?
drop it.
Yes. I don't want to damage your floor or the dog. Wow, that is heavier.
Yeah. 12, 9, 13 pounds. We're all slightly different.
So we're sitting with that on our shoulders all the time, pushing that weight through our bodies.
Exactly. We would be if it wasn't maintained in this wonderful structure. So that actually we have a perfectly good system that knows how to support this weight on top of the spine.
It's heavy
and it's integrated and it's balanced. And its very weight tips us around so that we can move by falling off balance rather than pulling ourselves and pushing ourselves into movement. What I explain is that the spine will come up into roughly here in the back of the head, sort of between the ears, level with the eyes.
Just notice the shape
highline.
of the skull.
Yes. And because we've got more weight in front of that point of balance, the nose will tend to want to fall. But sadly, most of us go around life like that, literally having to use all the muscles down the back of our body to keep it simple, to lift this great heavy weight, either because we're going around in fear like this, that fear reflex, or we've slumped and then we have to look up.
Because the posture's not supported.
See where. So this one thing is that what we do with our head is very important in Alexandra technique, but this is why it's heavy, and we need to let it work the way it's designed to work so that it actually does its job, which it beautifully knows how to do. And I think the weight's important to know because yes, if you don't use it well, it's going to be very heavy, which you feel, I mean, I know when my neck was bad, it used to feel 8 times this by the end of the day. But that it's clear that we are made absolutely beautifully, that this is on the top and it's there for a reason.
Magical,
it's
really,
the shape
isn't it?
that's there.
Yeah.
Because what it tone on our spine. This is just a little
This is a
tiny
vertebrae.
vertebrae made out of children's blocks
With your
years
core
ago.
muscles.
With the core muscles. Muscles that run, there's only a couple of layers on this, but you have the muscles that run from vertebra to vertebra. Oh, can't get it. That one there. And then you have the next layer which runs longer and longer and longer until our superficial layers give us our shape. And the if you had the head here and the weight at the front and the head is dropping at the front, then it's actually putting a length on your whole spine. Yeah? And when you put a length on the whole spine, the vertebra, the intervertebral discs have more room. And the magic about this is because the way the muscles are put together around the spine, around the body, instead of just the weight of the head putting a stretch on one vertebra, it puts a stretch on all of them from the entire length. And then we can move more freely, move from the hips, and we don't get this squashed, rotated and bent scenario that is just so, you can see where it just, we get the problem. So I use those, and sometimes I use this magic one, which I adore.
Please let me play with that.
We are just all beautifully integrated and joined together, and when we open in one place, we open in another place, if we let that happen. That can work for breath, it can work for the larynx, it can work for the whole body, and I'm fond of this one because it's actually got a couple of little broken bits.
Oh yes, I've just tried to fix it. I thought I'd broken it.
No.
It wasn't me, so
And
that's
what
okay.
I like, it's comforting this, because even when we've got a bit that isn't working terribly well, if we protect that and then try and move, if we hold, I can't move the whole. Whereas if I leave it be, I can actually still move, and the whole,
It's all about that
broken bit
compensation
is
again, isn't it?
supported by the whole. It's not always the case, of course, but it's a rather nice confidence boost. So those are toys, and there's one or two other things I use when I teach, but those are